Hey ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here for digitaldojos.com, and I want to give you guys a recap and overview today of the Apple Spring Forward event. It's 4 a.m. for me. I've been up since 2 a.m. when the event started. I live streamed it, so you can check that out. More content is going to be coming out here on YouTube and at the site digitaldojos.com. So if you want that exclusive content, the recap, post, the in-depth look at everything that was announced today and talked about, as well as some commentary from myself and Mobile Phone 2003, which I'm going to be recording later on, then feel free to check all of that content out. All right, that being said, let's just recap everything that went down at the event. Apple TV got cut from $100 to $70. It is now going to be integrating what's known as HBO Now, an exclusive service for you HBO fans out there for $15 a month. Mainly, you can watch Game of Thrones on your Apple TV. That's all that matters. Next up, they talked about Research Kit at the Apple event. Really amazing advances in the medical career, or field, I should say, and talked about how app developers can integrate really amazing apps that change patients' lives and allows them to collect data in a much more intuitive way via iOS. They showed five amazing apps that touched on major diseases out there like Parkinson's and diabetes, for example, and how you can use these apps in the iOS ecosystem to track data and then submit it. And obviously this goes full circle in the medical community and helps improve data collection and make all this seamless and easy via devices that we use every day. Beyond that, they talked about and released an all-new MacBook. Now, this is something that was really out of the blue. There were speculations they would upgrade the MacBook Air lineup, which they did slightly. They also upgraded the MacBook Pro. They integrated new processors on it, the new next generation of Intel chips. They integrated a new trackpad in the MacBook Pro. But the all-new MacBook, that's what they're really calling it, or the MacBook, if that's what you want to simplify it as, comes in three colors: the gold, space gray, and traditional silver that the phones come in. A gold MacBook, that's a thing now. Sadly, because my wallet is going to be hurting. But it's a fanless design. It has an all-new design. This is a re-engineered laptop from the ground up, guys. It's lighter, it's thinner, and here's the weird thing: it's the lightest laptop that Apple offers. It's like 13.1 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. It starts at $12.99 and even integrates some crazy new battery technology that they stack the cells to make it more efficient space-wise. 67% smaller logic board. Like, when you see the inside of this thing, from an engineering standpoint alone, I don't care if it's Apple or whoever, amazing work by the engineering team. But the interesting thing to me is this is the middleman of the laptop lineup. You have your MacBook Air, you have your MacBook, you have your MacBook Pro, but the MacBook is now lighter than the MacBook Air. So really, as far as portability and price goes, yes, like the MacBook Air comes in at what, $999, but you can spend the extra $300 and get the MacBook. And this is a 12-inch screen, just as portable, just as light, just as thin, and features a Retina display, an all-new keyboard and trackpad that has a haptic feedback engine and some crazy new sensors and hinges and mechanisms. They did a whole video on the keyboard alone and how crazy the mechanisms that they integrate into it. So check that out if you're interested. Really, my personal favorite announcement of the keynote. Moving on, they went on to talk about, of course, the Apple Watch, the real big star of the show. The thing is, this was an interesting event because we knew everything about the Apple Watch except for the pricing and release date. Release date was announced. I think pre-orders start on the 10th. Watches are available on the 24th in 9 countries: US, China, France, Germany, Australia, Hong Kong, Japan, and the United Kingdom. Now, that being said, price points. They talked about price points. Apple Sport will start at $350. Apple Watch comes in just about $550. And the Apple Watch Edition, the one that everybody wanted to know because it's the luxury, the high-end, the creme de la creme of the watches as far as Apple offers, $10,000. I know this sounds completely crazy, and it is in a sense. But you got to understand a couple things. We're talking about 18 karat gold for one. We're talking about watches, where as a watch collector and enthusiast myself, I don't personally see it crazy when people will spend upwards of $5,000, $10,000 on watches. I'm used to that. I'm familiar with that. You'll see people buy Rolexes, Panerais, Hublots, Audemars Piguets, hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases. But those are a different market. Watches is a different market. Watches is an expensive market. But you got to understand, to me, the Apple Watch Edition is a weird place because I can understand people spending that much on a watch. I know most people can't. Like tens of thousands of dollars on a watch. On a smartwatch, however, that's going to become obsolete rather quickly because technology advances. The hardware will be out of sync with the software, and it's going to become a keeping up with the Joneses when they come up with the next edition, if they decide to do that. Like, your old one's going to seem slower, and you're going to want to upgrade, and you spent $10,000 on a thing that runs slower software in a sense. I'm really interested to see. I'm not going to be buying a watch edition, even if I had the money. Not something I'm going to be investing in. It's appealing and all that. It's nice. I like the design, but again, it's too much for a smartwatch in my opinion. And it's just, you know, one of those niche categories. It's not for 99% of you out there. It's for that 1% who can, you know, not one who has money to blow, and two just wants it as a fashion forward item, so to speak. Beyond that, the Apple Watch and Apple Sport, they have varying prices based on size, based on the bands you get, things of that nature. But I really liked the design and the interaction. They showed a lot about the watch kit. They showcase a lot of apps on their Instagram, Uber, things of that nature. I like the idea of interacting with your wrist and not having to pull out your phone. I know it's a very first world sort of problem, but I like where they're leaning with this. It's very first iteration, and you know, we're definitely going to see it improve, the interface improve, and the hardware improve over time. But I like what they're introducing to the smartwear market, and I like how its integration with iOS goes. Obviously, I'm an iOS user. That's why I'm leaning more towards trying out the Apple Watch, the baseline, you know, $550 device, not the $10,000 device. Anyways, that's a full recap and overview of everything that went down. Again, I'm going to be going more in depth on each of these in future videos and posts, so check those out over at digitaldojos.com or just here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, give a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and leave your comments down below on your own opinions and things of that nature on what you think, what your favorite part of the announcement was, least favorite, you know, feedback all down below. Thanks for watching.